What's up, everyone? This is Blue Streak TF here with Transformers Age of the Primes Micronus Prime. Alright, so before we get into Micronus, we're going to take a look at his packaging real quick. So, first off, before we get too deep into this, when I got this figure, he came in a bag that was, like, I ordered him online, and he came in a bag that was ripped in a couple places. There were holes in the bag, and there was some damage on the box. This flap right in here is torn. This one was actually sitting outside the box when I got it. Layla, go lay down. And yeah, this box was beat up and damaged when I got him. Not happy with that. But the figure turns out was alright, so oh well. Anyway, so you can see up here we have a picture of Micronus, looking all Micronus-y, jumping out of his Apex armor. Here we have him riding the big tricycle, unicycle, one wheel, big unicycle, looking super serious on that super dorky looking thing. Transformers, Age of the Primes, Micronus Prime. We have another picture of him looking super cool. This is just carried over from the front. On this side we have the Primes mural with Till All Are One on the top. And then we have the other section of the mural of Primes. So we have Solus Prime, Micronus Prime, and Alchemist Prime. Down here we see he's a Deluxe Class. On the back you can see the product images, so you know what you're getting if you don't know already. And then he is a authentic Transformer. You got some more words, a barcode, and some more words. And you have his name up top, and that is it for the packaging. And now we will take a look at the actual figure himself. Alright, so here we have Micronus on his Unicycle of Wonder. So we can see here there's the little Micronus himself, and his unicycle, which you can just fold up the arms on this and it will roll. Mine sometimes catches, the wheel will catch on mine sometimes, and it's a little weird. But anyway, so you can see there's some really pretty good detailing in here. Just kind of has his hands sticking off the back, but they are kind of disguised as tailpipes, so it's kind of neat. You got some really nice blue up front here, and we'll just get little Micronus off to the side, so you can see those little handlebars there. And then yeah, these just fold down and form a sort of kickstand for him, so you can set that off to the side and take a look at the little guy that is Micronus Prime. So we have little Micronus in his tiny little robot mode. This looks very inspired by 2015 Robots in Disguise. It's a little head sculpt. There's a lot of transparent plastic on this guy, which is a little bit nerve-wracking. But what you gonna do? You got some silver paint on the top of his hands and then on his toes. You got some nice blue paint there on his chest, and some silver paint again on his face. Yeah, for articulation wise, his shoulders can go all the way around and go out. He has a ball joint on his shoulder like that. His little head can look back, can look around, can turn all the way around because it's on a little ball joint in there. This guy's tiny. Like, I kid you not, this guy's tiny. He can kick forward, kick back, he can go out. He has a ball joint in his knee, so we can do that. And yeah, that's it for this little guy. We're going to transform him real quick into his Chimera Disc mode right after I show you his accessory, which is the actual Chimera Disc, which is really little. It's got some blue paint around the rim of it. Nice molded detailing in there, and his little logo. This thing is small, and it just pegs right onto his hand like that. So the Chimera Disc, what that does is that it can grant power to other Cybertronians, or give them the Apex armor, which is the armor to make this little Minicon bigger, because Micronus was the first Minicon and he was really little. Anyway, so to transform him, you just twist his head around, take his legs, or his knees, and fold them inward so the toes are pointing at each other. Raise his arms above his head, and then there'll be a joint that will just bring his arms down, and they will just snap right in place. And then you take his legs, and they will sit right up in there. Bend it at the knee. Take this again, and you just snap that right in there. Fold this up, and for whatever reason, I can't get the bottom on mine to peg in. It's kind of weird. Like that is supposed to sit together, but I can't do that. Anyway, so this is the base guy's alternate mode, which is a disc, which just fits right into his armor, which so happens to be this. The actual figure part of this figure is kind of the main part of this thing. Anyway, so to transform this, you just pop these sections off. They're just held in right there by 5mm pegs. Take these side sections and fold them out, like so. And disconnect the wheel from these assemblies here that just spin like that. And then for the wheels, what you want to do here is, and I think this is super cool, so you just take and split like that, and watch this. That just straightens out on its own, and it becomes his knee like that. That is super cool. And then you want to take this section and fold it up, and that'll become his foot. Alright, so on this side, we just gotta get this peg out of the way and fold that down. Fold his toe, rotate that forward, and then you want to take these peg sections and rotate them so they're facing the rear of his legs, like that. And then set those over there. Take this part, unfold these silver pieces here like so. Take this back section, that'll fold up. Unfold those, fold it back down. Flip out the head. Take the legs, and those two pegs will just seat right in there, like so. And then I'm gonna take your little disc man, and this little peg will fit into that hole right there. So he will just slot right in there. Then these pieces will come together, and they will just snap right in place, like so. And then you want to take his arms, this one, and plug them right on the side like that, and like that. And then you want to take his little disc and peg that right into the center there. And there you have Micronus Prime in his Apex armor. It's unique. It's a unique look. I'm gonna give it that. Not my favorite design of the Primes so far. Doesn't mean he's bad. I think he's very good. But it's weird. Inventive, though. It is inventive. I will give it that. And that makes it kind of cool, in my opinion. Anyway, bring this down for little guy. Alright, so you can see he's got a silver visor there on his face. Then you got these little silver points on his arms, or shoulders, I mean. Got a little bit of silver there on his waist. Got that disc there, and then you can see a little bit of Micronus in there. I'll say this disc being here, it kind of makes me think a little bit of like Iron Man, you know, with his arc reactor or whatever. But there is a sticker upgrade kit and for this figure, and they put a sticker on the disc making it orange, like a glowy orange sort of look, and that made me think of Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim. Anyway, and then you got these thick stocky knees made out of the wheel with these really cool knee pads on there. Those are so cool. A little hollow on the backside, but that's okay because he needs to fit his legs in there. And you got these mid-back saw wings right in there, and then you have a little bit of blue up there. Oh, that's right, there's some silver up there. I forgot to mention that earlier. His hands do look kind of weird, so whatever. Articulation-wise, he can look left, he can look right, he can look up a little bit, he can look straight forward. You know, his arms can go around, not quite 360 because the wings are in the way. He has elbow bend, he's a bicep swivel, he has wrist rotation. Anyway, he can kick his legs forward, he can kick his legs back, kick them out, do full splits, thigh rotation. He has knee bend, which, oh man, those knee bends. I can't stop gushing over them. Those are so cool. And he has an ankle tilt. So, yeah. And I'll do a quick size comparison with the other Age of the primes that I have reviewed so far. And here we have Micronus Prime with the other 4 that I've already reviewed. We have Solus Prime, Alpha Trion, Alchemist Prime, and Prima Prime. So you can see how that works out. And here is Micronus with the 4 other primes currently in their robot modes. Alright, I think that just about does it, although there's one thing we have left to do. This guy is an armorizer or weaponizer, whatever he's called. I think he's more of a weaponizer, actually. So that means, for those of you who don't know, he can come apart and can put his pieces on other characters, which is actually perfect because his Chimera Disc does that already, as I've explained. So, we're going to bring in Alchemist Prime, and we are going to rip apart Micronus Prime. Any small children who are watching probably don't want to see me rip apart this toy. It's totally fine for them. Like, it's just making a joke, you know. Anyway, totally up to you. And then you just pop his legs off. And now the instructions show you doing this to the Fireflight figure, so this isn't really gonna work quite the same way with Alchemist Prime because he's not built the same way as Fireflight will, so I'm going to make a little bit of this up as I go. So yeah, just kind of tuck these back a little bit and then fold the wings back, and then you got this peg here, and we'll just peg this on to his back because there's a hole there. We'll see if this works. I've never actually tried it on this guy before. Maybe? Okay. Hold that. Okay. Please bear with me as I make a fool of myself while I'm trying to figure out how this toy works. That's not going to peg on there, but I initially had an idea of like you would just peg onto his back like that, but the post isn't long enough. With the Fireflight figure, it's just supposed to like slide right onto his back, which looked weird anyway. So anyway, what you can do with the rest of his pieces is you can just make like blaster cannon arms, you know, and you know, just this folds up into a shield, which basically just, oh, that popped off. Alright, got it back on. And this will just kind of, you know, tuck back up into its wheel form. Yeah, it's wheel form, because its other form is fake. Ah! See what I did there? Wheel, real. No, okay. Except you want to have this peg on the outside, like so, and then you just peg that onto his wrist, like so. Come on, you. Like that. And just put this somewhere, like here. There we go. And maybe we'll just throw this on for the fun of it. Throw this on here. Boom! And he can do that. Or, suppose we could try throwing this around his body. We're just kind of playing around here right now. Just kind of making this go longer, making you pull your hair out, waiting for the video to end. You know, we could do something like that, but I don't have Fireflight, so I'm not able to, you know, use the armorizer function for what it's supposed to be. And I'll just get this guy ready to end the video. Alright, that would wrap it up for this video. And I want to thank you all for making it this far. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you have any comments on the video, you know, just give me a comment. Please consider subscribing so you can help support the channel. You know, check out some of my other videos if you want. Yeah, remember that Jesus loves you. He's always looking out for you. He will never leave you. He will never forsake you. And he wants to be, he wants to live in your heart. So if he's not already, please, I advise that you let him, and he can really do some good in your life if you're hurt and broken. So anyway, thank you, and I will see you next time.